Hi guys, it's one and only maths favorite teacher. So on this session, I'll be taking you through sequences and series. So one thing that is very important is that under sequences and series, we'll be speaking about arithmetic sequences. Arithmetic sequences. Now with regards to arithmetic sequences, so we have the formula that denotes all the general term of an arithmetic sequence, which is Tn is equals to a plus n minus 1 d. So that is the formula for the general term of an arithmetic sequence, where the value of Tn is equal to the general term, or if you don't say the general term, you simply say the nth term. And then A represents what you say is the first term of the sequence. Then in most instances, this first term is represented as T number 1. Then as you continue, we know that we are also having n. So n represents what we say it's a number of terms. Number of terms in the sequence. And then D simply represents what we say is the common difference. So that is the common difference. Now, one thing that you must understand is that the moment we are having T1 representing the first term, T2 representing the second term, T3 representing the third term, and so forth, it means to say that on its own represents what you say is a sequence. So a sequence must always have commas in between. But the moment we are having T1 plus T2 plus T3 and so forth, it means to say now we're talking about a series. So before you can go any further, you must understand the difference between a sequence and a series, right? So with regards to you now knowing that D is equal to the common difference, so we can get D, which is the common difference, by saying the second term minus the first term. Or D that represents the common difference, we can simply say the third term minus in the second term. So that's how basically we get the value of D, which is what? Which is the common difference. Now, as you continue, now I'm just gonna try to do an example. So here, so that will be our example number 1. So that will be our example number 1. So with regards to example number 1, they're giving us that, I'm just gonna try to write it. So they're giving us x plus 2. They're also giving us 4x. They're also giving us 6x plus 4. 6x is 4. So they say they form an arithmetic sequence. So that is an arithmetic sequence. Let me just try to write it here. Arithmetic sequence. Just that I don't want to write the full sentence, but I think you can be able to understand. So they're saying if x plus 2, 4x, and 6x plus 4, the one that I wrote, form an arithmetic sequence, determine the value of x in the first 3 terms. So they want us to determine the value of x. Determine the value of x in the first 3 terms. And the first 3 terms of the arithmetic sequence. Arithmetic sequence. I hope you can be able to see, guys. Apologies for my handwriting. So that's how basically it is. Now we are having x plus 2, 4x, 6x plus 4. Now what you're going to do as part of your solutions, you can just write it like this. So it means to say you're now having what? You're now having x plus 2. You're also having 4x. You're also having 6x plus 4. Now for you not to make mistakes before you continue, just write to say that represents your T1, which is the first term. That represents T2, which is the second term. Then that represents T3, which is your third term, right? Rather, let me write it here to avoid patching through. So you're having x plus 2. You're having 4x. Also having 6x plus 4. So I've just showed you to say that is your T1, term number 2, term number 3. So when you solve for x, we know that the common difference is the same in an arithmetic sequence. So I'm just going to say T2 minus T1 is equals to T3 minus T2, right? Then now I'm substituting. So my T2 is 4x. So I'm going to say 4x minus your T1, it's x plus 2. Open bracket, I'm going to write x plus 2. It's equals to T3 is represented by 6x plus 4. Simply write 6x plus 4. Then minus, and then your T2 is represented by 4x. Now when you arrive here, you want to simply solve for x. So we know that here, that would be us writing 4x. Then negative times x is negative x. Negative times positive, it's negative, and then we're having 2, right? It's equals to, then when you say 6x minus 4x, that should give you 2x plus 4. And then, as you now continue, what basically you're going to be doing, we know that here, before we go further, there is a coefficient here of 1. So 4x minus 1x, simply going to get what? That will be 3x. So you're going to say 3x minus 2 is equals to, then you say 2x plus 4. Now from here, I'm going to write 3x. I take that positive 2x, transpose it to the other side, changes the sign to become negative 2x. It's equals to, then we're having 4 here. I'm going to say 4. And then you're going to take negative 2, transpose it to the other side. When you take negative 2, transposing it to the other side, changes the sign to become what? Become plus 2. So 3x minus 2x, that should be x. It's equals to 4 plus 2, that should be 6. So it means that our answer is x is equals to 6. But before that, since we are not yet done, after getting that, it means that we are going to continue, right? Because the question says determine the value of x and the first 3 terms. Now, how are you going to get the first 3 terms? Remember, we know that we were given our T1 as what? As x plus 2. So it means to say you're going to see T1, which is representing the first term, it will be x plus 2. Then you're going to say T1, it's equals to, now since the value of x is 6, that will be 6 plus 2. Then therefore, first term, which is T1, is going to be equals to 8, just like that. And then here, we can also see that our T2 is represented as 4x. So I'm going to say T2 is equals to what? 4x. And it will be T2 that represents the second term is equals to 4 into, you can see that the value of x is 6. So you're going to say 6. Therefore, the second term, which is T2, is going to be equals to 4 times 6. That should give you 24. All right, 24. Then lastly, our third term, as you can see, you are being given what? 6x plus 4. You're going to write 6x plus 4. Then that will be T3 is equals to 6 into the value of x, we got 6. So you're going to write 6, then you say plus 4. Then therefore, the value of T3 is equals to 6 times 6 is 36. So that will be 36 plus 4. Then at the end of the day, we're getting what? We're getting 40. So since they want you to determine the first three terms of the sequence, you can basically follow the concept and say, therefore, the sequence is, or you can just say the first three terms of an arithmetic sequence are, so that will be 8, 24, as well as 40. So that's how basically we deal with these guys. It's very important that you make sure that you understand how basically we solve this, because it's going to help you at the end of the day to be able to master how we deal with sequences and series. It's the one and only maths favorite teacher once again. Stay tuned for more.